Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Sunday. Harley, before I get into this video, you got anything you want to say? Well put, well put. So, we've been rained out since Monday night. Right after everything I heard was rain started about an hour after I got done planting, so that's good to know. Wound up with roughly 1.5 inches total across everything. So it's been really nice. Thought a good video today would just be bringing you guys along. I want to go check on fields and see how things are coming. Well, that's a good sign. It appears as though the pond is done seeping away. This is the new pond. Barely have pumped anything out of here, and we had it decently full. I think I showed you guys. New pond, we expected it to lose most of that water. It just kind of is what it is, soaking up. But now that seems to have stopped, that's a really good sign. It's holding water now, great sign. We've test fired the sprinklers 4, 5, 6, 10 times. I think we finally have all the bugs worked out of it. We've had a lot of little issues, but I think they are finally 100% ready to go, which is a good thing, because water, well, it won't get to this farm by Tuesday. We'll start having our next shot of irrigation here in a couple days. Probably be about a week before it makes it over here, but that's awesome, because it doesn't take long for 2 inches when you were as dry as we were to disappear. So this field has not been irrigated yet, but look at that, I found oat sprouts. Give it a day or so, they're going to be up out of the ground. Oh, that's good to see. I was really kind of hoping there'd be some up already. I am seeing a little bit of green out there, but that's just weeds. So this field will probably need to be sprayed. Let's go to the next one. So here's the hay field. Little guy, just getting started. So this ought to be up shortly. Our biggest concern on that field comes from using that Holcomb land plane. Those things do a great job of making a firm seed bed, which alfalfa likes. But they also make it very hard to get water to really soak in and stay. It wants to run. Luckily, that sprinkler, we are able to pump a little bit of water from that lake, and that lets us kind of run that sprinkler now and again and just keep that top edge moist, as they say. Here is that first field of spring trip we planted. It's had a couple shots of water now, plus the rain. It's getting tall. Warm weather coming around. This should really start growing fast. As you can see here, oats are popping. You can row them real nice. These have come on a long ways in the last 24 hours. It's nice to see the wheat is really trying to shoot up. I mean, yeah, shield your eyes. I got shorts on. It's mid-shin high. It's grown a lot in the last week, but the thing we're worried about now is because it was so stressed all winter, it's going to put out the flag leaf soon and not really yield a whole hell of a lot. At least that's what our agronomist tells us, and I couldn't believe him. Now, we had quite a bit of wheat that did not handle the winter near as well, to put it mildly. Now we started irrigating, it's become blatantly obvious that we definitely had some winter kill. So, this is all spring trait you see coming up. Wheat's the taller stuff out there. We talked to our insurance company, because this is an insured crop. Said, hey, we know it's failed. We need to get something planted before we start irrigating. We don't want to irrigate a dead crop. We're in a water short area. That'd be a real waste of water. They go, it's too early for us to total it out. So when you go in to replant it, if it needs planted, leave us 2 10-foot strips like you would if you were chopping corn. So, 10-foot strip it is. That's 10 foot wide. You can tell because this was planted straight. The trit in a circle. Look at all that dead wheat. That sucks. That really sucks. If we were relying on this to be a grain crop, that would be a complete failure. At least here in our area, we've got the option of chopping and baling what grows, so come on, Trit, start growing faster. All in all, I'd say we replanted somewhere right in the 250-ish acre range, which means we have about the same amount that we didn't have to replant that had a good enough stand to leave it alone. So now it's just really kind of up to Mother Nature and seeing what kind of crop the wheat itself is going to make. All the new stuff coming's looking great. What is the wheat going to do? That's the real question we have. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot to show you the alfalfa. So that alfalfa has been irrigated. That has not. We should be within a month of first cutting. And we got a lot of alfalfa that hasn't even started to grow because we've been so dry. And the stuff that we have irrigated is not looking impressive. Years like this, I am not a fan of alfalfa because it is such a water intensive crop. You have to put a lot of water into it to get the return. Now, if you have the water to put into it, you can get a great return out of it and make it worthwhile. You don't have to replant it every year, all those things. But on a year like this, I mean, I just showed you the oats and Trit and how it's really coming along. That got the same amount of water. It's maybe 6 inches tall. Just kind of really trying to get started. Needs about another 3 inches probably to really get going and growing. So, I don't know what our alfalfa crop is going to look like this year. We really don't know what all alfalfa is still alive after how dry we were last fall and through the winter. We're wondering how much of it survived the winter. That's why we're trying to kind of get some more planted this spring, but it's really hard to get excited about trying to grow it when, you know, you're just going to be water short again. Let's go to the shop. We got something cool kind of going on there I want to show you guys. We're building bridges, guys. We're really building bridges. So these two are real simple, 12 footers. We got 8 in total that we need. 2 12s, a 16, which they already cut parts for it, then a 20, 22, 35, 36. We're pretty confident we can do all the way up to the 22. The 35, 36, that's getting pretty long. We went and did a bunch of measuring off of bridges we already have that we've purchased. We're using a lot heavier steel, but we don't understand the engineering side that they do. And we don't have a real simple way of arching these the way that I'm sure the fabrication shop does. Downside of the fabrication shop, it's going to be sometime in June, maybe even July. I need to call them again, get some prices, double check some things, but they were about 2 months out the last time I talked to them, so kind of one of those, it is what it is. We kept dragging our feet, waiting to make sure nothing changed on the sprinkler before we ordered them, because the last thing we wanted to do was order a bunch of bridges and then be like, oh yeah, by the way, the sprinkler shifted a foot and we had to alter this, so all them bridges need to be 4 foot long, girl. Well, shit, we already ordered them. We can't change that now. So, yeah. Building bridges. Oh, and working on a golf cart. Things have been kind of a headache. But parts showed up yesterday. That being said, guys, I mean, that kind of shows you what the crops are looking like, kind of where we're standing at now. Just got off the phone with Tuna. Hay planting is a go in the morning, so I'm going to get started on that. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.